Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today because I believe Pennsylvanians deserve better. I believe Pennsylvanians deserve a system that is better than a system that was designed to make the sale of alcohol as inconvenient and expensive as possible, as then Governor Gifford Pinchot stated. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I rise today and I urge you to support HB 466. I have a story for you. When I was growing up, my family and I were transferred out to the Chicago area. We were moving into a new home. Naturally, one of the first things you do when you move into a new home is you have to go to the grocery store. We went to the local grocery store, which was called Jewel Osco, and we were navigating the store. We did not necessarily know where everything was, naturally, because we were new. And I'll never forget this. I saw a look on my father's face of bewilderment. I said, "Dad, what's wrong?" He said, "Nothing's wrong." He's like, "I just think it's awesome that I could buy a bottle of wine at a grocery store." Naturally, Mr. Speaker, I think that's why we need to move into a 21st century system of selling alcohol in Pennsylvania. You know, I constantly hear about all the arguments from people on the other side of the aisle, and I ask myself a simple question. If this was such a good idea, if it was such a cash cow, if it made so much money, why are not other states implementing the system that we have? Why are not the bluest of blue states, California, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, implementing our system? They're not, because our system is not a good system. And that's why Pennsylvanians deserve better. If they saw it as a way to reduce their budget deficits, they would use it. That's why they don't do it. Much like the Soviet Union, who tried to control different industries, the Soviet Union failed. Our system of liquor, in my opinion, is failing. Now, I know the critics will say that this bill is a union-busting bill. I disagree. This bill is about creating convenience for consumers in our Commonwealth. I was a member of a union in high school. My father and grandfather were a member of a union. I have no problem with unions. As we move out of this system and go to the private sector, employees are certainly welcome to form a union. So this is not a union-busting bill. This is about convenience. Critics will also say this bill puts state workers out of work. Well, there will be plenty of jobs out there with increased licenses. There will also be 3 additional points on the civil service exam for employees that lose their jobs, and up to $2,000 per year for employees to go back to school. So we are looking out for them. This is a very complicated issue. I don't hesitate to say that. We have a tangled up system. Not everyone is going to be happy. I'm confident that our friends over in the Senate will work on this bill and make sure all parties are happy and in good standing when it finally passes. But what it comes down to me, is Pennsylvanians deserve a better system. I believe this bill gives it to them. In a time where we have a huge budget deficit, this bill helps us chip away at that deficit without raising taxes on middle-class Pennsylvanians. It's obvious for the next 2 years to work with a Democratic governor and increased majorities in the General Assembly for Republicans, bipartisanship is going to have to happen. And you know what bipartisanship means to me? It means both sides coming together on issues that the public wants. I think we all can agree the public wants this. Over 70% of Pennsylvanians, whatever poll you look at, want some sort of liquor privatization. To me, that's bipartisanship. Democrats and Republicans coming together for the benefit of Pennsylvanians. Mr. Speaker, for Pennsylvania and for our consumers, I urge a yes vote on HB 466. Thank you.